We had great team chemistry. He was a great coach, and
we won back-to-back national championships.
They were really successful before we got there.
Jim Yeager, I think, pretty well started the program, and Jim Dickerson took over after him. So it was a very successful program when I got to take over.
There was an assumption, a false assumption, that women couldn't do what the men were doing. Their first experience at playing full-court basketball was when they came to college. But when Coach Foley came, he really put the misconception aside.
Especially this team wanted to do something nobody thought they could do, and nobody expected them to do except themselves.
When it came to recruiting, he was very honest, frank about what his expectations were going to be.
You know, everybody wants to win, but not everybody wants to prepare to win. And this team understood the preparation, how hard it was.
He was very detail-oriented in his motion offense. We would rep the same drills over and over and over.
When you believe in something, you got to really give yourself to it. And those kids were disciplined to get better each day. As a coach, I had to get better each day. And it all kind of accumulated at the end, and they ended up being an unbelievable basketball team.
Things just kind of flowed kind of easily that year.
And I kind of sat there after it was over when the final horn sounded. We won by 15 or 16. And I thought, is this all there is to it? Because, I mean, we just blew everybody out.
They were tenacious, aggressive, and they were mentally challenging to play against. And by the end of the game, they had won the game not only physically, but mentally.
The practices were actually tougher than the games.
That's what separated us from a lot of teams is the preparation.
We just screened, read screens, passed, cut. That's just the motion offense. We had a target on our back. We were all returning, and we knew that. So it was way more difficult. He did not call a timeout. He told us he trusted us. Hey, you know how to play basketball, just go make a play. We've worked on this.
The defense kind of spread because they knew that she was going to deliver the ball to one of those. And all of a sudden she sees, okay, she's got great awareness, so she sees, well, they're all covered, and she drove by.
They made a great pass, and there was nobody guarding me. It was kind of lucky. It wasn't like it was a tough shot.
And laid in a layup as the shot clock went off, and we went up by 1.
I was just blessed to be able to make it. Have been successful. They were on a state finals team last year.
We're all close and know each other really well.
It's just a good bond, and I think it helps us during the game sometimes. She's very strict sometimes, but
that just makes us better. With our team last year, we got to a very high position, where nobody else was.
Instead of hammering them to do something, you've got to encourage them to believe in themselves.
Gets her point across. I like the way she coaches.
Because she knows what's best for us. And
I learned why he did what he did. He pushed us to be the best we could be, to get outside of our own comfort zone.
If you set your expectations high, you're going to get up there pretty good.
Winning is not the ultimate.
That it wasn't about the X's and O's, it was about the people.
You know, we don't just teach them basketball, we teach them life skills. I just want them to be good people. These kids need to know all the time that I love them, that I'll do anything for them. But once we cross those lines, there's going to be a high expectation and a high standard that I'm going to expect them to play, and I'm going to be on them. But when I walk off the court, I'm going to hug them, tell them I love them, and we're going to move on to the next day.
Putting the pieces together each year, trying to figure out the best way for that team to play, the best way to help those kids become a great team. That's the joy.
Winning's great, but ultimately, the relationships you have with these kids when they go off.
I would tell players all the time, you make me a better coach. And they'd look at me and say, why? And I'd say, because I don't want to let you down. And you didn't want to fail them. And when you had great players that gave you everything, you can't quit on them. You got to go. You got to figure it out.